Europe learned to entrust its money long before modern banks existed. It learned to do so with a religious order of warrior monks who promised two protections: protection of the body and protection of gold. This is the story of how the Templars moved from escorting pilgrims to safeguarding fortunes, from praying in silence to building financial instruments we still recognize under different names. Europe learned to entrust its money long before modern banks existed. It learned to do so with a religious order of warrior monks who promised two protections: protection of the body and protection of gold. This is the story of how the Templars moved from escorting pilgrims to safeguarding fortunes, from praying in silence to building financial instruments we still recognize under different names.
12th century routes to the Holy Land were crowded with merchants, nobles, and pilgrims. The road was long and dangerous. Bandits, predatory tolls, difficult seas. Wearing coins at your belt invited disaster. Into this vacuum of security and trust came a simple, revolutionary proposal. Do not carry your gold. Deposit it here, travel light, and withdraw it there. The signature at the bottom of that promise belonged to the temple.
Their innovation seems obvious now. The letter of credit. A pilgrim deposited silver in Paris. The temple issued a coded document. In Acre, he presented it. The sign was verified. Fees were deducted. Payment was made. A thief could steal the paper, but could not use it. Fewer robberies, more pilgrims, more trade, and rising confidence in the Templar network.
Templar houses functioned like fortress vaults, guarding coins, jewels, titles, and relics. They charged a custody commission and offered something rare: continuity. If a lord died on campaign, heirs could recover deposits with proof and witnesses. This was not only physical security, it was legal security in an age without universal notaries. The network made it possible to move money without moving metal. A merchant paying in Genoa what he earned in London triggered a debit in one house and a credit in another. Fewer escorts, fewer losses, less friction. At scale, internal offsets created a proto-clearing system. Liquidity became a line in a ledger rather than a horse loaded with bags.
Medieval Europe with a mosaic of currencies: pounds, sols, deniers, florins, maravedis. The Templars specialized in exchange. They published tables, applied spreads, and arbitraged differences between markets. By setting transparent rates and honoring them, they turned monetary chaos into a navigable map for merchants and kings.
Custody generated trust. Trust enabled credit. The order advanced funds against collateral, lands, future rents, bridge and road tolls. Cities borrowed for walls, kings for campaigns. The temple avoided reckless ventures, demanded guarantees and deadlines, and controlled risk. Learning to say no made every yes credible.
Their secret was operational, not mystical. Careful ledgers of inflows and outflows, seals and signs to validate authenticity.
witnesses who attested with their names, rotation of offices to prevent corruption, inspections without warning. Religious obedience became compliance. Where others relied on force, the temple relied on procedure.
Kings and princes saw the advantage. The temple collected in their name, paid soldiers, and administered treasuries. Discreet, punctual, effective, yet dangerous to political pride. Whoever manages payments manages time. A delay, a condition, a prudent refusal, and power begins to feel dependent. The perfect marriage of throne and vault never lasts. Financial success created exposure. The order accumulated property, income, allies, and envy. The Templars did not print money, but their ability to move it placed them at the center of the board. The center is unforgiving.
At the start of the 14th century, King Philip IV of France needed money. Wars, courtly expenses, ambitions. He had squeezed taxes, quarreled with the Pope, and clipped the coinage. One tempting target remained, the temple, keeper of treasures and controller of flows. On October 13, 1307, he launched a coordinated strike. Mass arrests, spectacular charges, confiscations. The accusation was religious, the motive was fiscal.
Under royal pressure, the Pope dissolved the order. On paper, assets passed to the Hospitaliers. In practice, much stuck to royal hands or evaporated. The network that made Europe predictable unraveled. Where a platform of trust had stood, there was a void. Cities, merchants, and kingdoms rebuilt their own channels, paying the costs of transition. The Templars did not invent accounting or the bill of exchange alone. They borrowed from Islamic and Byzantine practice, Lombard commerce, and monastic discipline, and consolidated everything into a continental service. Their true achievement was uniting physical security, legal security, and standardized payments. The letter of credit, the sealed receipt, the reconciled ledger survived them.
Transferable trust is the core of banking. Deposit here, move there, settle without moving metal. Technology without governance is only speed. Governance without reputation is only paper. Reputation is an asset. Diversification is defense. Transparency pays. The Templars were not saints of banking, but they were architects of trust. To build a system requires method and virtue. To destroy it, appetite and decree are enough. If you wonder what supports your money, remember, not the walls, but the organized trust that stands behind them. Guard your guardians, for they guard more than gold. They guard the habit of keeping one's word.
A Templar letter worked because identity was anchored. Names and sums were not enough. There were countersigns, seals, and phrases known only to issuer and bearer. The paper mattered less than the procedure. A clerk compared handwriting, wax, and wording. If any mark failed, payment waited. Trust did not mean naivete.
It meant a repeatable method that made fraud expensive and rare.
At the great fairs of Champagne, bills converged like rivers. A Florentine owed a Fleming, a Burgundian owed a Catalan. Instead of hauling coin, houses netted obligations. The temple joined this web with discipline. Settle what can be settled on paper. Move metal only for the remainder. Each cycle reduced risk and cost. Behind tents and stalls, a quieter market ruled. The market of promises kept.
Currencies changed every few miles. The Templars published tables. So many dinars for a pound of Tours, so many for a florin, so many for a marvedi. Spreads paid for expertise and risk. When Paris priced a florin differently than Marseille, the network arbitraged gently, nudging prices toward a common sense. Not speculation for spectacle, but correction for stability. The result was a map of value merchants could read with confidence.
They practiced separation of duties before the term existed. One wrote, one counted, one sealed, and a visiting brother checked the sum. Books were compared across houses. Tallies traveled under guard. Errant numbers triggered inquiry. Reputation began at the desk. Write straight, stamp only what you can defend, and accept that honesty without proof is a rumor. Procedure made virtue visible.
When the order dissolved, the habit of order did not. Hospitallers guarded some treasuries. Italian bankers refined the craft. Bills of exchange lengthened their flight. Balances cleared across cities, and double entry matured into a sharper instrument. Yet a gap remained. The temple's blend of sword, seal, and sobriety had made even the timid trust the road. Rebuilding that feeling took a generation.
The network changed lives beyond courts and fairs. Widows stored dowries under a cross they believed in. Guilds kept funds safe between commissions. Pilgrims dared longer journeys with lighter belts. Cities financed bridges and markets and paid them back with tolls. Credit did not create virtue, but it rewarded reliability. And reliability built neighborhoods where trade replaced grudges.
Legends speak of hidden vaults and secret knowledge. The useful truth is plainer. Careful books, trusted seals, and people trained to say no. The treasure was not under a chapel floor. It sat in routines that outlasted a man's breath. A continent learned that distance could be negotiated with method and danger with discipline. That lesson weighs more than silver. What did the temple leave behind? A way of turning courage into custody, and custody into confidence. A belief that a signature here could unlock value there, if the seal held and the ledger agreed. Guard that belief. Guard the desks where it is made real. For money rests in the end on a habit of honesty that must be taught each morning and proven each night.